All of the world's largest gold nuggets have come from one place, the Golden Triangle in central Victoria, Australia. So when I was invited by professional prospectors to go to a remote bush camp and hunt gold with them underground, you bet I was there in a heartbeat. Senor Stumpy, where are you taking us?
We are going underground.
And we're going underground into
It's an old bit of a drift line, so it's an ancient riverbed sitting on top of a hill.
That's right, a couple million years ago there was a lot of water travelling around the Golden Triangle. And those rivers were cutting across some of the richest gold-bearing ground on Earth. And then, you know, because the Earth isn't exactly solid, some of those riverbeds got uplifted into mountains. This is really cool. We've just been walking straight up this hill and there's workings all down the side of it. Look at that. But our story starts back at camp. I'm out camping and metal detecting in the Golden Triangle with, like, some people. This is one of Pete's specimens that he's cleaned up, dissolved it out of quartz. Look at the structure of that gold. Those leaves are amazing. That's definitely orange juice. Black Wolf bag. Oh, that takes me back. Oh man, I used one of these for about 5 years before the bottom gave out.
No, that fits a GPX battery in the front pouch of it perfectly, so done.
Hot pro tip, that is. I should explain what a drift mine actually is. In the simplest terms, a drift mine is nothing more than a horizontal tunnel that follows a thing that you want to mine, in this case, gold. Drifts were often put in chasing ancient riverbeds buried very deep below the surface. The miners would sink a shaft from the surface all the way down to what were known as the wash gravels. The wash gravels could be a couple of inches or a couple of feet worth of gravel containing the majority of the gold. Once the miners hit bedrock, they would tunnel in every possible direction chasing the ancient riverbed. But they had to keep their vertical access shafts very close together because this type of mining was prone to collapse. And that means on the surface, you're going to see what are known as digger holes. We often detect for nuggets in the spoil piles from those digger holes. That is a tiny little gold nugget. That is minuscule. But today we were going underground because we were going to chase the drift tailings that were left in the mine itself. And this is where I'd find the biggest piece of gold I had ever found. But Dan did promise us lollies yesterday, and then he said follow me into the bush to get lollies, and it's under advisement that you don't follow strangers into the bush for random candy. Isn't that right? Yeah, all us dumb bastards are following him like, whoa, gold at the end of it, that's cool. We're going in there, are we?
That's the hole.
We better just show everyone the really important piece of equipment that's gonna hopefully stop a lot of the internet troll comments. That's a happy noise, isn't it?
That is a happy noise.
I just did the rough maths. We have a 6000, an Axiom, an Octalegend, and a Gold Monster with us. That's $15,000 worth of metal detecting equipment. How much gold are we going to find?
Hopefully a little bit. Hopefully a little bit.
16 grand worth?
Nah, not 16 grand worth. We'll give it a crack though.
Gadsy, get in the hole.
Oh, not in the hole again. What about the bag?
The choice is yours, bag or hole.
Bag? Well, here is the mine that we're going to get.
Yeah, so this is absolutely so spacious. So spacious. Enjoy my butt crack, Gadsy.
Thank you.
Hey, sign up to my OnlyFans if you want that.
OnlyFans. It's a bit tight in here.
I would go faster if I if I was more limber. Oh, there we go. Oh wow, it opens right up. I better not leave my metal detector behind because apparently there's shotgun pellets in here. Look at this. That is unreal. Hello. You see they've stacked some of the rocks up out of the way. So this is all ancient riverbed and they've tunneled in underneath the actual layer of gravel and whatnot to get to the bedrock where the best pay would be. Turn my head torch on. Look at this. Oh, it just goes way back. There is nothing holding the ceiling up. And what they're saying is that they're pulling little nuggets and stuff out of the wall. Just coming in here, working these gravels up in here. You see how loose some of this stuff is. This is wicked. This is really cool. So Tim was saying there's 100,000 miners on this gold field, and this is one of the hills that they worked. A lot of you guys have been asking me where Tim's been. I found him.
Yeah,
he's in a hole underground.
Yeah, best thing about down here is there's a lot of shafts going up top, so there's plenty of ventilation.
You can literally feel the draft coming through, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Oxygen sensors working beautiful.
I like our support timbers.
Yeah.
That's doing a lot of work, that thing. Anyone been game to touch it yet?
I've got a target under it.
Oh, it's a nail. So this is just a labyrinth. Tim's saying that there's tunnels and whatnot that cut in and around, and they just go and go and go. So
this one here, when you go all the way down, it starts dropping down because they've followed that gold layer down, and then it opens up into another big room.
that's I'm gonna do it. Beep, 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 beep. All right, we're gonna turn the Axiom on and see what happens. Well, that didn't take long, did it? That was very easy. I've been here for 30 seconds. I didn't even get my scoop out. What? Oh, that's a solid piece of conglomerate. Okay, that's just going in the pouch, apparently. That's the first target that I got in that. Can't break it, so it's a dolly pot job. It's so weird seeing people in like another tunnel just over there. What I was working in was an underground waste rock pile. This is river gravel they'd removed from the bottom of the riverbed and left in a pile because they deemed it worthless. Damn it, Dan, you beer pirate, you stole my drink for later. What we were about to discover in the near future was these piles were anything but worthless, and you never know where gold's going to come up.
Oh, what?
That's definitely gold.
There it is there.
Yep, that tiny little dot there is a piece of gold. Say what you want about the gold monster, she's pretty sensitive. We're going to call that the fly poop of faith. L sweatpants. How goes it?
I don't know. Honestly.
As for me, it was back to the pile of rock, where I was trying to remove layer by layer so my metal detector could see deeper. Well, Garrett, your machine's not very pretty anymore. It's very covered in Australian dust. I just squeezed through this tight little gap to come to the other little gallery here, and it's amazing. Support poles, nice little hole that they've buried in up there to another chamber. You can see where they've just followed at every edge, another support timber, hand stacked rock walls. Another little chamber going off to that direction. And in the meantime, what's hanging above you is the upper gravels of the riverbed. Help if you don't detect your pick, Chris. I've got a signal here. And it's pretty loud. They're telling me that there hasn't been too many nails or anything found in this mine. And it's making me think that maybe it'll be something interesting.
3 days later. 2,000 years later.
Yeah, scrap iron. This stuff is the pits when it comes to prospecting. You gotta love digging it because every now and again, you will ping a nice big chunky bit of gold, but most of the time, it's steel. Just a small hanging boulder from the roof. Yeah, I reckon it's more of that steel by the looks of that decay there. Yeah. Yeah. Having got the urge to explore the mine anime system, it was back to my pile, with a quick stop on the way to see Senior Sweatpants.
I find a signal. It's gold coloured. Gold coloured. Nah, it's a Siggy packet.
That's unfortunate, man. That's...
Wow.
Hey, no! 1 out of 2, you got the right colour.
What do you mean?
You got the right colour.
Right colour?
Yeah, now you just gotta get the right metal.
Yeah.
It's a spine! Old man plumber's crack. And I don't know what I did to deserve this, but Dan jumped in to help me remove some of the rock. Thanks, Dan. Dan has been a gentleman and a scholar, scraping back some of the rocks for me. But we've got a little signal here. I'm not 100% confident it's not ground noise yet, but we'll find out. Well, that certainly sounds like a target, doesn't it? Oh, thank God it's out. Oh, I hate having to dig for miles in rubble. There's nothing worse than having to dig down into a waste rock pile because all these rocks open up and let the fine dirt through. It just takes forever to find targets sometimes. Anyway, we got it out of the hole. All right, we got a scoop. Second scoop. This is the exact reason why you dig every single loud target you get with a metal detector, because you literally just don't know. I reckon that's gonna be a bit of steel. No f***ing way, that's the biggest nugget I've ever found in my life. No! No way! What the f***? Oh my God! No! Oh my God! Shush, Axiom, I know I'm excited too. Oh my God! I can't really... Oh, you better light.
Apparently, Donny McSpiggle's got a big nugget.
This is the biggest nugget I've ever found. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? I want your face in it. You did not, Kenzie.
Oh my God.
Look at that! Oh my God! Dad!
Oh my
Yes!
God.
Thank you, kind sir. Thank you. Oh my
That's awesome.
It's got so much weight to it.
That is ridiculous. I feel like Pioneer Paulie all of a sudden. Everyone hates this, but it's my channel. I do what I want.
Spit shine.
No, I've got to spit shine. Oh, look at that.
That's amazing.
I thought that was going to be junk. There was no way I thought that was going to be a piece of gold. That was going to be junk. In my mind, I was like, oh, I already dug up heaps of tin. Dan, what's the biggest one you found in this area?
3.8.
That's not bad. That's...
Looking pretty close.
That'd be 2,
Yeah, easy.
maybe?
No, it's real chunky and thick. You're very close to 3.
My biggest ever in the Northeast was 3.8. Dan has also provided me my very own, well, Dan's wife has also provided me my very own Stumpy Picks collection jar, and what an honourable thing to be dumping into it. Shh, shh, shh. Look, I don't think I'm going to have that much luck ever again, but for the sake of scanning this, we're just going to
I
try.
think you will. And go over the whole thing, yeah. Keep going over it. That's
So obviously you don't find stuff like that in places like this all that often. That is a once in a lifetime find for me personally. Unbelievable. I'm going to do a little bit more work here. Unfortunately, we are about 7 hours from home, so, and we've got a long drive back. But we'll do a little bit more work and see what we get. The unfortunate thing for me being 7 hours from home was I found that just before we had to go. So other than finding another scrap piece of iron, oh, I bet you that's it. Right on top of the scoop. It's a chisel tip. There was no other finds for the day, but that's okay, because I had to head home and crush up my conglomerate in a dolly pot to see what the first piece of gold looked like. Well, this has been mad fun. I gotta go up for air. I gotta go. Oh, I see his feet. Ugh.
Oh, no way. Yeah, that's cool.
In the daylight, man.
Wow,
That's one of the biggest ones I've ever found.
that's a pendant piece.
Yeah, yeah.
good.
It's sore neck piece.
Yeah, cool.
It was deep as too, eh?
It's painted lead though.
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing that under a head torch is okay, but seeing that in the daylight is unreal. I've never detected a piece that big, hey. That's I've got no words. It's just, what a day. That was worth the 7-hour drive. This was the first bit that I pinged. I thought I'd picked way too early because normally when you get one bit straight off the bat, you are done for the day. I want to say a massive thank you to Cookie, Tim, Pete, and Dan for taking us out not only to this amazing property, but also having us at camp last night. It was an absolute blast with all you guys. I just got back from the Golden Triangle and the worst thing possible could have happened to me for this video. The microphone transmitter that's meant to record pristine audio died on me. And I didn't know until I finished filming the video, but I want to show you the crush of the conglomerate, so I'm going to do a voiceover for it. Conglomerate's cool. It's just ancient river gravel cemented together that resembles something like concrete. And here I am, trying to explain that exact thing. Hey Chris, your microphone's off. Because the piece of conglomerate I found isn't actually a gold specimen, I don't have to reduce it to powder. I just have to crush up the pipe clay. To help me do that, I utilized my favorite crushing tool, Stampy. He's an adamant steel rod, but boy, can he stamp. Gee, that looks like a familiar motion, Chris. I utilized a classifier to get rid of all of Stampy's byproduct, which was dust. I needed to make sure that all the pipe clay was broken up, because being river gravel, there was every chance there was going to be fine gold contained within the soils. And unlike gold ore, because everything is covered in pipe clay, I couldn't see any gold, so I took it over to the panning station to make everything nice and moist. It was at this point that the prospector's paranoia had truly kicked in. I was wondering, A, if there was going to be a big chunk of gold, or if I had just picked up a rock that had ground noise in it and forgot to ground cancel out any of that background noise. What an emotional roller coaster. But there was no time for anxiety yet, it was time to pan, and what I was about to find in my pan was something I had not expected at all. See that kind of shocked and surprised look on my face? Yeah, that's the look of a gold prospector who found more gold than he thought he was going to find. Because I didn't just have one piece of gold in that piece of conglomerate, I had several nice chunks. That's right, I'd hit the conglomerate proverbial jackpot. 9 pickers came out of that one rock, and what I really want to know is, if we got a bucket of that conglomerate and crushed it, how much gold would really come out? And while I was celebrating my surprise win, that's when the prospecting paranoia finally paid dividends. Because in one of the only pieces of conglomerate that I hadn't broken up properly was a tiny little nugget of gold. Not that I would have known that I'd accidentally thrown it out if I hadn't have spotted it, but if I'd seen it later on film, damn I would have been annoyed. With my adrenaline still running high, it was finally time to wash my rocks, my nugget, and to do that I used the soft bristled toothbrush. Is it as efficient as Dan's ultrasonic cleaner? No, but it gives me the gratification of scrubbing it off myself. So with my nugget clean and my conglomerate crushed, we finally arrive back to where I have audio. I want to know how much gold came out of that little piece of conglomerate. I cannot believe how much gold came out of that. I'd love to see what Dan could pull if he went and filled buckets of that conglomerate up, crushed it, and ran it through a sluice box. But for now, I'm going to guess half a gram? 0.33, a little less than I thought, but still a damn good take. Irrespective of what this piece of gold weighs, I'm so honoured and privileged to have been taken out by such amazing people to an amazing site to prospect for gold, and I will always cherish that memory of finding this piece. For now, I'm hoping it's more than 3.81 grams, which is my previous record for gold. Now, I think it's going to be 3.9. You ready? Leave your guess below before this drops. 3, 2, 1. 4.13 grams! That makes this the biggest gold nugget I have ever found. It's also worth $391 at today's gold prices. Boom, baby.